Hey, wake on up. It's
If you haven't woken up yet, you are
yeah.
now.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to say this. Appreciate anybody that actually comes and is watching. Obviously, there was quite a bit of technical issues with OBS. So we don't know what it is.
Yeah,
So
we
I mean,
can't totally cannot figure it out.
we've been running tests nonstop to try and get that figured out, setting up multiple rooms and things like that, and we absolutely cannot get it figured out just yet. So we were like, hey, let's at least do a little something. Give them a little mooching crap is better than no mooching crap at all. But
That's
hey,
very true.
let me introduce the man, the myth, Mooch.
What's up, buddy? I don't know. Listen, well, here's the good news, folks, okay? Bad news is you're not going to get all the glitz and glamour and glory you usually get on M&C Mornings this week with the frills. But me and Crap have written enough material in the past 2 hours to grab. I think we came up with some really, really good some good bits, some good ideas. But it's good to be back. Whatever. Listen, there's always some problems that happen. There's always going to be something that goes on. But M&C Mornings will go on. So we are here.
We won't go into that night, and there's not even a sound bit that we can play because
there isn't.
we're raw dogging it right now.
That's
basically,
right, yes.
we're acoustic. Yeah, we're acoustic.
Acapella.
Yes, yeah. And but you know what? There is plenty of stuff to kind of talk about and stuff like that. If you guys
it really is.
hadn't noticed, because there was interesting stuff going on in the news. We've got like the PUBG stuff, and we've got also, we've also got the Game Awards coming up as well.
That's right.
Those are on, I believe. And they're talking about it's going to be a big show. They've got lots of world premieres and stuff, and that usually means something like Godzilla 2 or something like that. Apparently, we're going to see even more Sea of Thieves. So they're going to be showing off some Sea of Thieves. So we got that to look forward to, Mooch.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I do want to get into the PUBG stuff, but I'm actually interested to hear what Jay's take is on it, because I don't know if Jay, were you planning to get PUBG initially?
Actually, somebody said they were going to game gift it to me. So back when I was doing my initial mooching way back, someone contacted me and they were going to game gift it to me, and I'd be more than happy to accept it. But I'm not. Are
you
sure
affected by the whole thing that went on? I mean, it's not really a big. Listen, it's not really. I think more of what it was, Jay, was about the whole. They said one thing on Thursday and changed their tune on Friday. It's not really that anyone. Me and Crap are talking about this on Crossfire. We assumed it was going to be 30, 40 frames, in the game preview. Anyway, I wasn't expecting 60 out the gate.
I was
just because they did the day before. They said, "Hey, we're going to have six. It's going to be 60," and then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, no, we're not going to be able to." After everybody cried about it and was like, "Hey, it's not fair." Hey, Alan Savage, thanks for the 40 spot, bro. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. So yeah, for me, so the day before they come out and go, it's definitely 60 on the X, and it's probably going to be 30 on the S. And people are like, "Oh man, that's not fair." It's And to me, I'm thinking, what's next? Are they going to complain it's not fair that we get better graphics too? You know what I mean?
Was it more about bragging rights, guys? Like, do you think it was more about bragging rights than anything? Like the fact that we are getting 60 on most games, and that's what puts us above the PS4
and the original Xbox One. I think the main problem was that you had to be in rooms with people that would possibly be at 30 frames while you're at 60, and it's an advantage.
Right.
But I mean, PCs do that all the time anyway. I think that if you can utilize the technology, then you should. I think that would be.
Well, it's interesting though, Crap. I mean, I've been doing a lot of reading over the past couple of days with even after Crossfire, I've been doing a little bit of reading here and there. And here's the thing, Microsoft is not. I'm not blaming the Microsoft necessarily for this. This is the dev that came out and kind of put his foot in his mouth or spoke too soon, however you want to look at it. But my biggest problem that I got right now is that Microsoft came out and said with the X that it was going to be a console that doesn't necessarily give you, the more frames, or it's going to outdo the S. It's just going to be a better resolution. And now we sit here and we are asking for that because we know the capabilities in the box. Digital Foundry has said it a number of times now, where they're like, you know what, to be honest with you, it's capable of doing possibly Destiny 2. You know what I mean? It's capable of doing all of these things. And my problem with that is just that what do we to expect right now, Crap, as consumers? Are we supposed to sit here and just sit on our hands, be like, okay, we'll take the better resolution even though we know it can do more? Where are we? Because Microsoft's very clear on that.
It is because look, a good example of this would be what happened with Skyrim, right? Apparently, it's a worse version than what's on the PS4 Pro. So, like, why is that a thing? It shouldn't even be a thing, and they don't even put the high quality assets in there or anything. I mean, it looks okay. I think.
So is this a matter of Microsoft being unclear to the devs, or is this a case of #lazy devs?
Well, it could be lazy devs. Since that's an older game, they might not have really felt the need to go back and optimize as much as they could.
Agreed.
In the terms of PUBG, I think that since it's going to game preview anyway, maybe they just had second thoughts after they got some of the heated debates and things like that, where people were talking about, hey, it's unfair and this and that. The funny thing is people think that's unfair, but then they were perfectly okay with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
I just, I don't think that it's, that's a smart move. If you can push it at 60, then I say push it, or up to 60 or whatever. And, I don't think it's really going to hinder that much of the style of game that it is. And I just don't like the backtracking. And it seems like they really gave up in terms of, people said some things, oh man, they were complaining. So, let's stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that at all. I think that's really,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. But I mean, what do you do? There are people out there that are saying, well, I have the S, and there's the entitled thing, which I think is wrong. But there is the other thing where like Sony and Microsoft came out and said these mid-gen. That's why I said this on Crossfire, and I think it's something that should be brought up more and more. Are these now that we're seeing the way that they have to walk on eggshells with all these games coming out? Is this going to be the last time we see a mid-gen upgrade?
You know what?
I think so.
It could be. Like, is it worth it? It depends on if they're able to actually get, I don't know what the sales are going to be. They could be pretty good. But, if this is a situation where the mid-gen refresh doesn't really do much, or is it worth the hassle? I only think we got mid-gen refreshes right now, strictly speaking, because we got consoles that launched this generation that were severely underpowered to begin with.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. And so they had to kind of make it up because there was kind of this leap in between as well. So not only did we start off with weak consoles, but there was also this leap to 4K in the middle of a generation. And so they had to come out with this idea because believe it or not, even though people will try to make it sound like nobody has a 4K TV, a lot of people have 4K TVs and more are buying them all the time. And you need something to match that because you've probably seen it because I've seen it. When I'm playing a game on my S, it looks okay, but I can't go back to that now. You know what I mean? I mean, I still have my S, but I'm kind of contemplating not even keeping it. I don't know, but
I'm really enjoying. I've never actually had a console up. I put it we have a really cool TV in the bedroom. Have that there. It's kind of cool. You could play a lot of like the the games that I told you, like Telltale games. Put me into a coma. Yeah. Those are actually pretty cool to play if you're just going to call it an early night. You go up, you kind of jam out a little bit.
I've been playing those games.
But think about it, crap. I'm also saying that I'm using it as a sleeping regiment. You know what I mean? It's so boring. Just not. You're gonna get the achievements out of it, but it's not like I can't be like, oh, I can't wait to come home and play The Walking Dead, season 75. So I mean, it is what it is. But I think it's cool to have one up there. So I'm keeping one S. I still haven't gotten rid of my Gears of War one yet because, to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Craigslist and eBay. I don't do that stuff. So I'm waiting for somebody that I know that's just like, dude, I'll take that off your hands. Like, and I'm giving them a good deal. I just, honest to God, I don't need to have more than the one extra S in the house. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting, and crap, according to you, you're saying I'm going to be waiting for a while, and that may be the case. But I want to get where the Gears console currently is. I'd like to get another X, but I don't need one right now before Christmas. I'll probably wait till after Christmas, see if there's any of those like cheap ass deals or whatever those things are on Twitter. Something where it's like, hey, or maybe it's still $500. But I'll get like whatever, Sea of Thieves, or you'll get State of Decay 2 with it, or I don't know, something wacky that'll come out. I might jump on that ship. You know what I mean? To get my second X.
Yeah, I can understand that, and I don't know if I said hey to Alan Savage, but thanks for the 40, just in case.
Yeah, Alan's awesome.
Oh, dude, Alan's the man. He's a really big supporter of the shows, all the shows. Really, you'll see him in Crossfire, Xbox, and whatever. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Chase
Hey, they can actually. Jay, are we able to do voicemails?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
We can do voicemails and live calls. We just can't have any special video clips and cool
or the top
backgrounds.
10 that we recorded. So
yeah, we do have a top 10, but we'll save. Maybe we'll do crap. We'll use it for our Patreon that we're doing this week.
Yeah, you know what? We're gonna do a Patreon show where we'll have the wheel, since obviously we can't do any of that stuff right now. So that'll have to be this week when we do the wheel and stuff like that. Jay,
look at the bright side. Every time someone gives to the super chat, they get to hear.
Okay.
Oh,
you're gonna get a Dukin.
Somebody, quick, dude! That's actually, if you guys didn't know, that's Mooch saying Hadouken, and he said that on Xbox Nation.
Hadouken. It's actually not. You know what I'd like to do, Jay, in the future? If we could actually get the clip of Ryu doing it and then me, just to see how close, because I wasn't measuring it to anything when I actually did it. It would be really neat to see how close I came to the original.
I want you to put this as your ringtone on your phone too.
Dude, I should.
Like, when I first heard that, I thought it was the Ryu one, right? So I was like, that's funny. And then he's like, no, that's Mooch. And I lost it, man. I was like, that is the funniest damn thing I ever heard in
That's
my
what
life.
made it so good, crap, was you were like, that's not, no. You're like, that's, you're like, it is. Holy shit. It is Mooch.
You think that's funny? These guys were going back and forth doing their Donald Duck impressions earlier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm just like, they sound exactly like Donald Duck. It's absolutely hilarious. It's you know,
it's a lot of we got a lot more sound effects on the way, folks. Trust me.
We do, but you know, hopefully we're gonna still try to do some show and have some fun. If you guys want to call in on Skype, M&C Space Mornings, you guys can welcome to do that. But Jay, who do we got on deck that we can listen
to? Voicemail.
Yeah, so we've got. That's a good question. I just flipped over.
Shut that dog up.
You can hear the dogs. We've got Buzzer. We have Buzzer 666.
Okay. Let's hear what this man has to say.
Just a quick one, guys. I was just wondering how you managed to fit in all your gaming, holding down full-time jobs or being in college or school. I work for a living as well, like most of people, and I find it hard to fit in. I have no kids at home. I just work and play. How do you manage to fit all this time and to fit all these games in? Cheers, guys. Keep up the good work.
That was a great call. You know, I'll tell you, it's dedication, man. I mean, I know a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people nowadays, right? Whenever you ask somebody like, hey, how you doing? They're like, beat, tired, exhausted. Everyone says that. It doesn't matter what time of day. They could just be getting up from an 8-hour sleep. You're like, hey, how you been? You're like, beat, exhausted.
Yeah.
Woo. And you're like, you just woke up.
I know. I gotta take a nap.
I gotta take a nap or something, man. That sleep was just not doing it. So anyway, you know, it comes down to this. Me and Crap kind of have a thing, and you guys can see today's a great example. Okay, and yes, we are at we're not working with our full boat right now because OBS was giving us a bit of a pain. We'll work that out. But the one thing that me and Crap and Jay said when we started doing this is we're like, you know, regardless of what it is, the show must go on. And I know that sounds like a real cheeseball slogan that they use on Broadway. But realistically,
that is our slogan.
It is our slogan.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Yeah. So even when we have a day like today, we're still going to do a show. Yeah. And to answer the caller's question, and I do want to hear Jay and Crap's take on it. But I think what's key about it is when you set these rules in the beginning and you say, look, this is what's going to happen. Of course, life and situations come up. Sometimes we have to go later one day, or sometimes we have to go a little bit earlier. Sometimes we move it to the next day.
Or we have an M&C evenings.
Or we do an M&C evenings, right? You know, but I mean, Crap, I think that's ultimately a great question. We make sure we get this done. We look at this as a job. We look at it as a priority. We enjoy it. So it's a job we enjoy. But nonetheless, it is a job.
Yeah. You know what? For me, like I just game whenever I have free time. And it really depends on how much time I have to what kind of game I'm going to play. Like you said, Mooch, if it's an evening and I just want to chill with something, sometimes a Telltale game is a good choice, or 4 to 7, just to kick back a few laps or whatever. He says Capital Foundry Skyrim is hilarious. I know, dude. Like a lot of people like it. Some people haven't seen it. They didn't, because that was at a particular time where YouTube wasn't really sending out alerts. So you know, but hopefully that stuff is fixed. If you guys haven't checked out the Capital Foundry Skyrim thing, I think it's funny. I'm sure that there's Sony fans that are like that don't really think that's funny, but hey, you know, it's my channel, so I pretty much do what I want. When it comes to gaming, you know, it's like if I have an off day just from my job, then I can game on something with a little bit more meat on it, like Assassin's Creed or Shadow of War, which, man, both those games are absolutely gorgeous, man, and HDR and 4K, absolutely amazing. I just, you know, I think that that's I can't say enough good things about gaming like that. You know, it just really took me by surprise because remember, Mooch, we were like, HDR might be the real deal. And now when you see HDR with the 4K, it's like, that's the real deal. So,
I do find it very interesting, like you said, that HDR kind of took over a little bit, right?
Or say like Alan Walsh, HDR.
So, I mean, HDR really did kind of take, if we say that so many times, you will constantly use H.
I know, HDR.
But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think HDR really did become the dominant over. I think people are more impressed with the way that those color tones, and to me, I think it's certain games really utilize it perfectly. In certain games, it just looks a little much for me. But that's a me problem. I think it's. Well, there you go, folks.
Yeah,
the show is ready to rock and roll.
It is. We've got 300 plus already in here. It might be the max that we get today because all the
hoopla, but
all the hoopla. But yeah, yes. M&C afternoons. What's up?
What can we do for you?
How's it going?
Hey, Mooch and Crap. This is Yahweh Wee from Xbox Live. I heard you guys talking about underpowered consoles this generation. That's why we got mid-gen refreshes. That got me thinking, if Microsoft wouldn't have wasted their money and their time on making the Kinect, how much more powerful do you think the original Xbox would have been? I think it probably would have been pretty close to the PS Pro. Thank you. And let me know what you think. Bye.
Go ahead,
I actually think that it wouldn't have been the PS4 Pro level, but it would have been probably better than what the regular PS4 launched at, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, I just think that it's unfortunate that they had such a focus, Donnie D, by the way, on that whole casual market and stuff, which was already dying out by the time they wanted to kick out the, the Xbox.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary. See, we're sitting here saying, okay, if the Kinect wasn't there, would the power have gone into the box? I don't think the power would have went into the box. I think what it is that money and resources were put into the Kinect, and that would have went into, which could have very well ultimately given Xbox, they would have never lost that power. They would have had that power crown straight through this generation. But I don't know if it was necessarily like because of that they took away the power. I think it was just the money and the resources all went into that. And then ultimately you could fill in the blank with what that money and resources would have went into. Probably a better design of the box would have been one, right?
I mean, here's this big box.
Here's a box. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm the first to say this, and I'll defend it. Ultimately, guys, we sit here and we say how great the X looks. People were very impressed with PS4 vanilla, the way it looked. But realistically, for most of us, okay, for the ones of us that don't put a PS4 or an Xbox on our desk and like have it standing up vertical and take selfies next to it, if you're not one of those people, like, and you're like me, it's just sitting in your entertainment center. So I mean, no matter what it is, it doesn't really matter. But ultimately, I think some of the money could have went into the design of the first one.
Yeah, I completely agree with you 100%. M&C Mornings, what's up?
Please pull up.
Please pull up.
Hey, Mooch Crap, J-Dubs. It's Jay from Jersey, just giving you guys a call. Just wanted to say thanks for pushing on through all your technical issues and going through with the show. Mooch, you had a great show on Friday. It was awesome. Enjoyed every minute of it. The best part, honestly, of the whole show was probably definitely the ending when you guys got to nerd out a little bit and go into all of the
Hello.
I'm honest with you.
There it is.
Just want to say thank you for everything. Really heard too many people touch on. This generation, I started off with the Xbox One when it first came out. Last Christmas, I got the PS4 Pro. You would think, since a lot of people hated on the regular Xbox hardware, I would have noticed a big jump going from that to the PS4 Pro. Funny thing is, I noticed the biggest jump out of everything when I got the Xbox One. Just wanted to see if you guys felt the same way. Have fun. Have a great show. Thank you for everything, guys.
I appreciate that. That's a great call. And I mean, he makes a good point, Crap, because me and you were in that same boat. All right. And what I mean by that is I had, we all had a day one Xbox. Whether you got the S or not, that was irrelevant. Because it's basically the same means. And then the Pro came out, and the Pro, I didn't see anything. I mean, right hand to God, I don't see much difference in the Pro. I mean, now when you're talking about like when you like click on Lost Legacy, right? Uncharted Lost Legacy, and there's the load up screens, and they have the pictures of the girls that the protagonists. Like that looks so lifelike. It looks really good, but that's just a still caricature. It's a shot. It's a picture. They can really make that look great. The minute you go to in game, it looks like when I was playing Uncharted 4 on my PS Vanilla, the PS4 Vanilla. So. I didn't see that jump, and that's what this caller's talking about. The real jump came when I started playing these games on the X. So yeah, the Pro, listen, and Crap will be the first to tell you because he's Mr. VR, which I have 2 people I have to thank. Crap, you're not gonna like this, but I was able to mooch Doom VR.
Who the hell are you mooching Doom?
Listen, Crap, I can't keep revealing my sources, okay? Because you guys are going in to my secret safe. Okay.
Hey, somebody mooch me some Doom VR, man.
It was Yoshida himself, actually. Yes, he's very close.
You guys are real close.
Yeah. Yes, you know that.
You guys, he comes over for Thanksgiving.
He does Thanksgiving at Greg Miller's and Christmas with me.
You do New Year's with him. Yeah, it's all very, very nice.
But listen, I think the PS4 Pro was literally a device that was put out there to help the VR unit. It just was. And that's why you play Horizon Zero Dawn on the Pro versus you don't see much of a difference. And when you see the comparisons going on now between PC, X, and Pro, the Pro is based, and then they had the Xbox One S next to the Pro, and the S and the Pro look pretty close. The Pro does a couple of extra things now that they're putting a little extra oomph into the enhancements, but it's not what the X is producing, and that's why I felt like the Pro is a little bit of a money. So true. That's Mr. Who Cares himself. Yeah, I don't know, Crap. What do you think? What's your take on the whole difference between the 3 consoles, S, Pro, and X?
Well, I mean, I think there's a huge difference between the S and the X. Unbelievable difference, right? Way more difference than what you would think, but maybe not because it's so much more powerful. It's literally like a huge jump. So you would expect that. So playing things at like 900p or even 1080p versus 4K, huge. That's the reason why they went 4K, was because that was the number where people could see the biggest difference. Between the PS4 Pro, I think the biggest difference is with the textures and stuff like that, and the lighting and things. It really makes a huge difference for the Xbox One X. The PS4 Pro, I've yet to see a real big difference, aside from some games have a little bit quicker loading time and stuff.
Right.
And I guess the HDR, the HDR, that's that's a little bit evident there. Like if you play what is that, Lost Legacy, the HDR kind of pops, because it's like you're outside, it's trees, it's foliage. Horizon Zero Dawn's another one. That game looks good too. So HDR, and but there's still just a huge difference between the PS4 Pro versions and Xbox One versions, Xbox One X, especially on the multiplats that like the Shadow of Wars, the newer ones, the Assassin's Creed. Those games are Wolfenstein, which is like runs native 4K almost the entire game on Xbox One X, and it's like 1440p on the PS4 Pro.
Can we keep in mind here too, Crap, in the audience, guys? Anyone that's saying we were promised 4K and we're not getting, guys, the machine came out a month ago. And these games that you're seeing, like Wolfenstein, pardon me, AC Origins, these guys, and Crap, please correct me if I'm wrong, but they all were working off of the dev kits that came for the X, for the X, excuse me. So my point being is that give these developers another year. I mean, Anthem is going to be absolutely stunning.
Developers.
Tell them, Steve.
Developers. Oh man, I missed
developers.
Yeah.
Yes, that's part. Yes. But like, it really is. Give these guys another year, and you're going to see just how great this box actually is. And that's what I'm saying. And listen, and a lot of people are making the switch over, Crap. They're all coming over. You see that the casuals that went over to PS4, they're coming over. We see them on Twitter. They're like, hey, Mooch, just want to let you know I'm coming back over. They never were arguing in the first place. They went over for the power. Now they're coming back for the power. That's just the way it is. Like, people buy food because it looks good. Sometimes you buy something, you're like, how many times you get home and you're like, sorry, guys, this dinner isn't what I thought it was going to be. It looked good. You know what I mean? It looked like it was going to be good. It just wasn't. You know what I mean? But like that's the case in point here is I don't know. What is your take on it, Crap? I mean, that's my whole role.
Well, you know what? The games are going to look better. Here's the thing. Even though it's easy to like port games to and stuff like that, you're not going to really see the real like what this console can do until developers have a full cycle to work with it for their games. You know, that to me is something that that's really going to happen along the way, and that's what I'm most excited for. So I'm definitely excited for that, and I can't wait to kind of see what they're able to do with it. You know, it's it's an exciting time. You know, I'm very excited for that. M&C mornings or afternoons. What's up?
All right,
you're on.
Hey Mooch, hey Crap. ¿Cómo están, bitches?
Nice.
How's it going? What do you got to say, bro? Yes.
That might have been all he had to say.
Okay.
Really? Oh.
I have a question for Mooch and Crap and the rest of YouTube. Do Xbox fans hurt the brand every time they make one of those loud videos and complaining about things like PUBG, where we magnify the issue so loudly that it becomes so annoying sometimes? Because we understand that sometimes Microsoft does make a mistake, but do we magnify the problem that much bigger?
Awesome question.
Thank you.
The answer is kind of. A lot of times, Crap, you know, a lot of times the whole Xbox community can be its own worst enemy, and I get that, but there's a breaking point. That's a great question. I think that the answer really is 50-50. Sometimes we're bringing more awareness to a situation that needs that kind of spotlight, and sometimes I think we're harping on stuff. And like I think Crossfire, I really do want to speak to this. I think Crossfire this past week, if you haven't, I'm going to plug it real quick. Go to my channel, check out last week's this past Friday's Crossfire. People are really enjoying it, but I like the debate we had. And I like the end result that we came to. I mean, and Crap, I'm not speaking for you here, but I ultimately think that you agree with this. We know that at the end of game preview or somewhere in the middle of great game preview with PUBG, that game is going to be running 60 on the X because the developer said that. You know what I mean? He did say it. So you can make fun and have console wars and this and that. But point is, at the end of the day, at some point or another on the X, it's going to be 60.
Yeah.
And that is a big deal, folks. That is a big deal. I think you have to understand that the hoopla that came from Thursday and Friday's news announcement from the PUBG developers was just that you can't say something and then retract it like that. Again, the example I gave during Crossfire, and everybody gave so many great examples, was you can't go into a store, see $14.99 on the shelf, go up to the register, and then they're like $25.99. And you're like, no. But the employee back there and the tag said $14.99.
Yeah.
To go back on it when you just get to the register is the same as a 24-hour announcement from a developer. You know, now what would happen if you did do that at most brick and mortars? They'd say, you did see that? They would ask someone to go back, take a look. If they see the $14.99 tag, you would get it for $14.99 because you can't false advertise that. So what happens is when that was leaked out, or not leaked out, pardon me, it wasn't leaked out, but when it was reported about the developer saying 60 on the X, you can't blame people for thinking that was the product they were going to get day one. He didn't say later on. He said they were working on the S later on, trying to get that one up. But he said the X would be 60. So everybody with an X was like, you know, hallelujah. People were dancing in the streets. It's a very, very popular game. It's a very much anticipated game. So you really can't blame people for being excited about that. And that's what you're going to see on what you did see on Friday was that backlash through Twitter and social media was people just felt like they were kind of cheated. They were kind of lied to. You might go, well, no, Mooch, we weren't lied to. I understand. I know where you're coming from, too, on the other side. But you do have to look at what it is. And it's like I said, it's a little bit of false propaganda. And I think at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to buy PUBG on day one. I've really been looking forward to it. No, I really have. And I think that it's not a game that I want to pass. It's a game that I want to be a part of. And you know what? It's going to be kind of fun. This is the first game preview game for me, Crap. I've never partaken. I've partaken in betas, but not game preview. So to be able to see this thing kind of go from infant level to kind of, it's grown full release is going to be an interesting ride along the way. It's going to be some hiccups, some bumps, but I think ultimately as a consumer, I'm going to really enjoy being able to experience it in 30 frames and then getting ourselves to 60. It'll make the game that much better and it'll be like a refresh. So Thank you.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, it's going to end up being 60 for sure. Hey, we actually did get 400 in here watching. That's pretty damn good.
We love you guys.
Like button, you guys.
Awesome to have you guys here. M&C Mornings is something different, and we really appreciate you guys being with us.
Absolutely, man. You guys rock. And again, very sorry about the problems that we had earlier, but you know, like them's the breaks sometimes. You know, you gotta keep on going, keep on keeping on. You know, life's a garden, dig it.
Right.
Thank God for Joe Dirt. Sorry. No, seriously. Like the funny thing is like the shit that people never hear, right? Like, while we were working, because we did go, me and Mooch were sitting here in a room for hours now, right? Since 10:45 this morning.
Right.
Something like that, 10:40.
Yes.
Jay's like trying to fool and get with stuff working. So me and Mooch are entertaining each other, cracking jokes and stuff, and like that shit is pure gold in my opinion.
It really is. It really
like
is.
The like that shit was hilarious. And so you guys don't get to see that stuff, but it is funny stuff. And I do think that it's a preview game.
Yes.
If they can, I think they'll just kind of calmly do it without a big to do. You know, it'll just be 60. Or, you know, unlocked or whatever. And then who was it? Alan Walsh had a great idea for how you can do that. You can either just click it in your menu that you only want to play against other people on the S or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that would be easy enough to do to where it's not going to be a big deal. People can like chill out about it and just enjoy the game. You know, it is a game that's going to be huge for Xbox. It just does always seem that Microsoft gets a lot of shit from people they partner with, and that always kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. It's like, you know, come on, you know, treat them a little bit better.
That's the thing. The great Rodney Dangerfield said it best. You know, Microsoft gets no respect.
No respect.
They get no respect at all. I mean, you can't say, well, Mooch, this is the first time. It's not. It's actually the third or fourth time on a major deal. Rise of the Tomb Raider, CD Projekt Red. I'm even counting the Ubisoft deal with AC Origins. Where the guy got on stage and misspoke the name of the console. You know that people were like, ooh, that was cringy at Microsoft when he said Xbox X.
Yeah.
And then you also have the PUBG people coming out. And here's the thing. I just can't. And this is where you do have to blame Microsoft, okay? Somebody in their marketing team is not getting the point across to say, when we publish, let us publish. Okay? You develop. We don't tell you how to develop. Don't tell us how to publish. We're going to publish it. We're going to advertise it. You just make the damn game. And you don't see this stuff happen with Sony. Like the people that were making Neo, they didn't come out and go, boy, I really wish we were able to get this on the Xbox One S. They didn't say that. Like, but you have people that are making games. You know, you had Vince Zampella when Titanfall 1 was coming out. And they had that deal.
We don't want to burn our bridges.
We don't want to burn any bridges. I would have loved to have put it on the PlayStation.
I didn't find out to the last second, literally.
I just found out now.
Even though they were paying for a lot of the development and stuff, right? Yeah. So
Vince is the head of a studio. You're the head of a studio. You didn't realize that Microsoft's magnificently large checks were coming through?
Yeah, I'm sure that he had to have noticed at some point that,
stop it.
What's this from Microsoft? I don't know what that's for. I guess they just like the work that we do. I don't know. You know, like, come on.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's just stop it and that's what I'm saying. And the problem is everybody at Microsoft is acting like nothing's happening. They're like, everything's great, everything's wonderful.
Yeah,
you know, I think at the Microsoft campus they keep playing that REM "Happy Shiny People" on repeat. Crap, I think that's what happens. Is that song is just on repeat. Yeah, so you know, if you listen to that song for like 25 years, you just start thinking every day's a sunny day.
Yeah, exactly. Even though it's not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who do we got as far as a voicemail, Jay?
We have Monkey Punch.
Okay, Monkey Punch.
Yes.
Booch and crap. This is Monkey Punch. Second time calling in, and I just had a question. I was wondering, what would be the best 4K TV at a budget that you can get for the Xbox One S? Love the show. Love everybody on the panel. Mooch, Crab, J-Dubs. Y'all have a great day, all right? Bye.
Yeah.
Crap, you got that answer.
Yeah, like I have two that I could potentially use. I have the Samsung KS8000, which is really good, but the HDR options and settings, it doesn't pop as much to me. I use the TCL 55-inch 4K. It was like $550 or something like that. So if you're really looking for a TV that's not going to break the bank, that looks really good and the HDR looks amazing, then that's the one to go for.
Right.
You know, that's the one I use. I have both that I could choose from, and I choose to use the TCL. So it looks really good. Obviously not as good as your OLED or anything, but hell, it's the biggest TV I've ever owned, and it's nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. So downstairs, I've got 4K HDR, HDR, and upstairs I have the OLED, and so I don't have the X downstairs, but nonetheless, like there is a difference between OLED and not. But Crap makes a good point. It doesn't diminish your experience or your good time. I have just as much of a good time on the 4K HDR LED that I have versus the OLED. You know what I mean? So
yes,
it's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah. M&C Mornings, what's going on? How's it going?
Hey now.
Almost dies. Mochi.
I think I lost him.
Oh, damn. Well, get your ass back in there.
He vanished.
Yeah, he'll call back.
He'll call back.
Yeah, he'll be back. In
the meantime, let's take a voicemail.
Yeah, let's do another voicemail.
Okay, so we've got Mr. Zombie Killer on deck.
Cool.
All right, good stuff.
Hello, M&C Mornings. It's Mr. Zombie Killer. And some people have heard the news of the PUBG story and how Thursday, happy Thursday, 60 frames per second. Everyone's shouting it. Everyone's happy. Crap's doing a whole live stream on it. It's a good day. And then all of a sudden Friday morning comes along. Oh, well, we had to drop it to 30 because of the social media outcry. And people were very upset. That people who want to play PlayerUnknown on the S and the base console. And I'm just like, if you want to play this game, why would you want to play it on the S or the base console? To me, it comes from a hardcore audience like the PC crowd, because that's where the game's big. 22 million over there. And now it's going to come here and you're going to complain. Buy an X.
Yeah.
That's called an upgrade. That's what you do. Mm-hmm. So to dumb it down to 30 again, just so it'd be unequal on all platforms, makes no sense to me. And I hope to God they don't continue to do this on all games. Because now it's just like, shit, this is what we've been worried about before X launch and everything. And now it could be happening. Which I hope to God that doesn't keep happening. I mean, every console should be different because X is fucking power. You can advertise true power and have S play the same. Like what the fuck? Don't want to keep going on the rant, but the game does come out in 2 weeks and it kind of slaughtered some people's hype, and I'm gonna play the game nevertheless. Love it. But I don't like the tweet that they also put out on saying, "Would you like to see this game come to PlayStation 4?" Just because maybe it's a way to intimidate Microsoft, because you gotta pay us up more, buy us out, or else we're gonna go over there. Even though no one's gonna buy the game over there because they don't buy games, they always argue about exclusives and how many they got, but they never play them. I don't know why. That's what they do over there, because that's all I see on Facebook and Twitter. But why Xbox didn't say anything about that 2 weeks before launch? You know, could you not talk about PlayStation before the game launches 2 weeks away? It's December 12th, and you're saying this like the 30th or the 28th. Like, what the fuck, Bluehole? Just buy Bluehole out. And I said this in the last voice message. They should have bought Bluehole out already. It's benefiting them in the long run. Anyway, what are you guys' thoughts on that and on the tweet and everything? And how are you looking forward to PUBG on Xbox One X? I am. You guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Thank you, Jay. And I'm going to see that spinning wheel. Hadouken, my mooch. All right, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be my new hit him with the hind. We'll just do the Hadouken.
Hadouken!
That's what we'll do. It's great. But anyways, long story longer. I mean, yeah, he makes some good points. Look, ultimately, again, I think, don't forget these calls coming in throughout the week. So we've reiterated this a few times, but this is going to get 60 FPS on the X. It is. It's just a matter of time. So,
yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I no longer feel that Microsoft needs to or will purchase Bluehole. I think they're just going to keep their publishing deal like they have now, crap, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't. Because considering the game's going on a mobile platform as well and all this stuff, I don't see that happening either. So
exactly.
Yep. M&C Mornings, what's up? M&C.
Second window.
Second window.
I lost him again. You know who it's been? We're having problems. It's Colin. Calvin. Yeah. So it seems like I get him on the line for a few minutes, and I'm sure right now he's yelling into his microphone, but nobody can hear him.
Oh man, Calvin, you better get your ass in there, man.
Yeah, man. Here's what I'm going to suggest to you. Oh, he just hung up. So yeah, he's called twice, and we've had a quick conversation, and he knows to wait. And then all of a sudden, when it comes time, and I give him the cue, there's no voice. He can't say anything. I'm not sure what's going on there. So
yeah, that is interesting stuff for sure.
So we've got more
interesting
voicemails.
stuff. Yes. Oh, let's jump into another one. Who the hell we got?
We have a new caller. Goes by the name Sivian.
All right.
Okay, always good to hear somebody new.
Hey guys, this is Sivian. I just want to say you guys have a great show. Love both your guys' channels. Just like watching everything you guys do. I just wanted to talk about this whole loot box thing. EA has a horrible history of trying to squeeze every penny out of its consumers, and they always get away with it for so long, and then there's always that big backlash. But this whole deal that games will jump in price if we get rid of any of this pay for content stuff, which is not true. All these big AAA publishers have been around for ages now, and games have gone up in price. They make money selling you the game. And I honestly miss back in the day when they used to have expansion packs, not just DLC, when they actually used to put a little bit of time and effort into bringing you some extra content to the world, adding more storyline and other things to the game. But the whole games will raise in price because of loot boxes going away, I don't buy it. They make money selling you the games for that's what their job is. And if they don't, then they're doing something wrong. So if it's a bad game, it's not going to sell. If it's a good game, it's going to sell. Every once in a while, you'll have those hit or misses that are great games and don't sell very well, but it happens. But I don't buy that. I just don't see it.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Well, I mean, look, games they do take a lot more to make nowadays. Think about this. You can look back at, and I brought this up before. You know, it's a situation where games cost the same amount for us to buy now as they did 20 years ago.
Right.
But the development process has got of some movies, right? I'm not saying Avengers or a Star Wars, but you know, even The Witcher, I think they said cost $70 million by the time you do marketing and all that stuff. That's an expensive product. You got to be able to make your money back, and they did do expansion packs. I mean, they're one of the good ones, but I have no problem with something like that in terms of, you know, get these things out there if like for optional colors or, you know, a hoodie or something. Who cares, right? Who cares?
Who cares?
Cares? Basically. So, you know, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't like the pay to win aspect. So hopefully they can get that shit straightened out before too long and get that worked out. Cause you know, I don't like that, you know, it's they're better than that. These companies are better than that. It's a shame that we have, the way it is now anyway, you know what I mean? It's just so bad where people are like complaining about stuff. There is legitimate reasons to complain sometimes, but sometimes just shut up. You know, not everything, and I said this on Twitter, not everything is a goddamn call to arms.
Right.
You know, outrage, in the streets. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like, Jesus, you know, like, you know. Like,
well, listen, and that goes back to the PUBG thing. It's like, you know, pick your battles. Like, I think it was good to bring awareness. It was good to talk about it. But ultimately, like you say, let's pick our battles, folks. This is ultimately a game in preview. We're going to get our 60 frames. We all get that.
Yes.
So I think now anybody still talking about it is you know, either saying what we just said, or they're just, you know, there's no other news that broke since Friday. So
yeah,
if you're listening to a lot of different shows on podcasting, you know, it is going to be a topic of but by Monday, once new stuff comes out, this is going to go by the way of the dodo bird.
Yeah, it's not going to be a big deal. Plus, PUBG is going to be huge anyway.
It's massive. Yeah.
Game's going to be absolutely
It's too big to stop it right now. Right now, it's a moving, locomotive. You're not going to get in the way.
It is. And it's going to be awesome. So, yeah, nice stuff. M&C Mornings, right? Is that a call?
Yes, it was.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's G-Man 1172.
G-Man.
Just really quick, just wanted to bounce in. I was just listening to that previous caller, or was it a voicemail? I can't remember what the fuck it was. Yes, these game companies do make money. If they take loot crates away, they're still going to make money. But, look, I'm a 45-year-old veteran of the U.S. military, and I think the biggest babies I've ever seen is in the gaming community. They are some of the most self-entitled bitches ever. Film buffs, literature buffs, none of them are like entertainment. I mean, they are. They're just crybabies. Look, nobody goes into business to get by. The whole goal is to maximize profit in any business. Oh, EA is being greedy. Fuck you. I would charge you $0.25 for every time you say my name if I could. Handshakes and hellos aren't paying the bills in the real world, kids. Get over it. Get over it. You haven't seen a rise in the retail price of a game in almost 20 years. Don't buy loot crates. Just don't buy them. Period.
Yep.
G-Man 1172. I'm signing. It's my.
That was great. That's G. I call him G-Man Jerky Boy.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service, and that is awesome though. He's G-Man Jerky Boy.
You know what the funny thing is, when I'm listening to his voice and I'm looking at my own avatar, it looks like my monkey would sound exactly like him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He's a great character. Even though he's not trying to, he's like a great character. It's awesome to have G-Man call in. He's right. He's ultimately right. I mean, let's stop with the self-deserving. I deserve this. I deserve that. Let's stop with the crybaby stuff. And to be honest with you, he made some great points. I agree with him.
Good calling. That was definitely a good calling. Really appreciate that. It's good to see. Hey, it's also good to see VR doing good, Mooch.
Well, what do you mean?
What do you think about that?
That ridiculous claim?
Shipments.
Yes.
1 million shipments.
Now, keep in mind, Crap, I know you like to keep up, this is like your claim to fame here, but you do have to understand it's 1 million shipments over 50 million piece of crap VR units. It's not PSVR.
No, it's not. It's like, you got to remember.
Mixed reality, the Samsung ones.
Yeah, but it's 80% PSVR, dude. Like, that's.
Stop.
No, it is. It's huge. They're VR. They're the market leader by a large margin.
Well, yeah, they already have. Well, they already have
VR
the install
is the
base.
future, people. It's the future. Don't even go there. It's the future. I'm telling you.
You
Sounds
like
I'm reading a card or something.
No, worse than that. You sound like Dr. Evil when he's like, "I'm hip. I'm cool.
Hip. I'm with it.
I'm with it.
I'm with it.
Come here, Scotty." That's what it said. You're like, it's the future. It's cool. It's hip.
Yes. M&C Mornings. What's up? How's it going?
Hey, Mooch and Crap. Love your shows, everything you guys do. Glad you're out there for us. Now, the only thing I have to say is we all thought it would be the PS4 giving us disparity, not our own consoles. Now, don't that kind of suck? I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on it. Bye.
Opinion on what?
Well, I think he's saying, if I'm understanding it, because he didn't really put the question out there. If I understand what he's saying, is he's trying to say that the X is being held back. The whole 30 frames thing. He said he thought it would be the PlayStation that was holding the X back. It ends up that the S is holding it back.
Oh,
that's I completely. I'm making that question up because he didn't really ask it. He just that's what I think he's implying.
Oh, okay. I don't know if is it holding it back? I don't know.
Well, we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with you, but let me tell you why you're wrong. It's so true, Mooch. I don't know. I got to be honest. Crap. I think that ultimately Microsoft's initial words when we started this generation this mid-gen was that we're not going to super exceed the S and the Xbox family of devices. So now what's going to happen moving forward is it going to outshine its predecessor? I don't know. It should. I mean, it really should. You go buy, people always say this all the time, you buy a Lamborghini or you buy a Ferrari or something like that, right? Like we all do. But I'm saying, like, if you do, what do you tell people? Well, I'm going to go to the speed limit. The minute that there's no one around and it's a straight shot, that baby's getting up to 150 real quick. And, and it's like, you're going to try it out. You're going to use this thing. So you can't really say that you're just going to like have this super powerful console and then put a major, like a governor on it. You're not going to do that. You're going to let this thing roll.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. Who do we got on deck there, JW?
Hey, now.
We have Space Cat.
Space Cat.
Awesome.
Okay. Hey, Moochie Crap.
Hey, what's up, Moochie Crap? I was just wondering, do you guys think that VR will be a big thing at the next E3 for Xbox in 2018? Do you think they're going to try to bring a lot of their first party and have renditions of them on the VR? Keep up the great work. Okay.
Classic Space Cat.
You know what, guys? I could answer this question myself.
Go ahead.
Hey, VR is the future, people. It's the future. Don't even go there. It's the future. I'm telling you.
Don't even go there. I'm hip.
Damn it.
Chicka 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 chicka.
They're not going to show VR at E3. I don't think they would probably do it at some other type event. There's developers conferences. There's all that. I do think they got VR/AR coming. I don't think it's going to be like an E3 thing.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't see them. Not right now. Right now, Phil is under fire for not having enough first party exclusives coming out.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the time for him to show his rendition of, Office Simulator. I just don't. This isn't the time for that.
Yeah, definitely not.
No. If they, let's just use Paris Games Week as something funny, right? So that's become maybe a stage for Microsoft to do a mini show like they did the PUBG thing. Maybe if they want to break out some mixed reality next year for the X, they'll do it at like a Paris Games where it's cool, it's neat, and nobody cares about Paris Games Week. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, okay, great, look what Microsoft showed off. It's a great way to just have something. Something is always better than nothing, right?
Yeah, well, you know what's weird too? You know how, because you're one of those proponents that's always like, Microsoft really needs to do more shows during the year. And I'm always like, you know what? They probably shouldn't do more shows if they water them down as much as Sony does. Because I heard this PSX that they're about to do is going to be really shit.
Right.
Because they're not going to, because what happened was this. Yeah, they were going to do that, maybe show off that Devil May Cry or whatever. But because they got so much shit for their, like, hi, see you, we're done at E3, that they're saving that for E3 now, right? And that makes sense. Like, if you don't have the content to do it, like, remember when Microsoft had the content to do both E3 and Gamescom?
Yeah.
And it was pretty good, I thought.
It was.
Remember, they showed different games at both. I liked that.
Yeah.
But you got to have the content to do it. If you don't have the content to do it, then don't do it. Hey, let's get to 200 likes, will you guys? I know that it's kind of a abbreviated show or whatever, but watching, can we at least get 50% mark? That would make me sleep a little easier at night.
Crap's day, folks.
It would. Just
Crap, you mentioned them. I don't know if I'm necessarily a proponent of having Xbox doesn't have to have their version of a PSX. I agree because Phil came out and made a comment last year when he was being haggled about doing something like an Xbox show, and he said what you just said. And that's where we kind of came up with this. It's right out of Phil's mouth. He said, it's hard enough. We work very hard all year to put E3 together. That's a huge deal. He goes, we don't really want to spend the time and resources to just reiterate the same content again 3 months later. And I don't blame him. I really, truly don't blame him. Why would you do another show? I mean, he's showing you everything in June. It's not like, PSX is not going to be anything fancy. I mean, do you remember what have we seen at PSXs that are a big deal? The Last of Us 2 CGI
in engine
or whatever, in-game engine of Joel kicking an old plum to Ellie, and then we saw Fat Princess 2 the year before that. I mean, and they mentioned Capcom came out, I think, at PSX. The first one was like, Street Fighter 5 will be exclusive, and then he show anything. They Adam Boyes and the guy from Capcom did it like a chest bump, which was, all right, great. Wow.
Pretty good. I'm Adam Boy.
That poor guy from Capcom.
Share a game.
Yeah.
Here's how you share a game. Let's see. Shenmue 3, check. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, check. Oh shit, we still haven't even released those things, and it's been years. Damn,
Right.
might want to erase those. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
And The Last Guardian completely, you know, I mean, I don't know how it did actually in sales. Don't forget, like, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, folks. So a lot of people went out and bought that because of what, but nobody's talking about it. Nobody's ever putting that on like a
it had horrible controls.
Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Sure the hell is.
Mooch agrees with Mooch.
Yeah.
So.
What else is new?
Yeah.
I said that like it really is a third person.
I know. Who do we got on deck there, Jay? We got another one.
Bring it on, Jay.
We have a new caller, and I don't think he actually gave his name, but I'm gonna call him Vega.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. All right, Vega from Street Fighter V.
Hey, Crap. Hey, Mooch. First time caller here. Been listening to you guys for a couple months now. It was, when the X was finally announced, rolled around, I was jonesing for all kinds of news for it. Finally got onto YouTube and started following a bunch of you awesome Xbox YouTubers out there. But I just wanted to give everyone a little economics lesson real quick. People out here trying to say that Play Anywhere is ruining the Xbox and Xbox doesn't have any exclusives anymore. For people who don't understand how it works in the video game industry, the reason why our consoles are so cheap is because they're subsidized by game sales. Now, people who say that you can get those games over on PC anyway don't understand that if you're buying the Microsoft exclusives on your PC, you're still giving Microsoft your money. All right? So most people who have a PC probably don't have an Xbox. But if Microsoft offers them their exclusives, they're still getting them into their ecosystem. They're still getting those PC gamers money. Some PC people might not switch to Xbox. That's fine. Some PC people will switch to Xbox. Some of the lower end people. Microsoft still gets your money. In the end, that's what they want. So hopefully some people, learned a little something. What do you guys think about Play Anywhere? Is it really ruining the console? You think all Microsoft exclusives will be released on the PC as well in the future, i.e. new Halo games? Anyway, thanks for your time, guys. Hope you have a good Sunday.
Well, I don't think that Play Anywhere is ruining anything. I just don't think it's a help. I don't think what happens is, to be honest with you, it just gives a negative perception that it has no games, even though that's bullshit. Other than that, it doesn't do anything one way or the other. And in fact, Shannon Loftus has even said, we've noticed that people that buy their games on Windows aren't playing them on the Xbox, and those that are buying them on Xbox aren't playing them on Windows. Right. So nothing's changed. Right. Literally, there's nothing changed. Nothing.
It's literally an option, folks. And I know this is the year. I call this the year of options because everybody's like, oh, just give it to me as an option. I just want an option. Nobody can make up their mind. So in order to not have people make up their minds, what we have to do nowadays is we have to give 75 options. It's an option. It's there. Is it being utilized? I don't think it's being utilized very much. Not from what I'm hearing. Console gamers are console gamers and PC people are PC people. And I know there's a couple of, I call them hybrids that kind of go back and forth.
Like I call them frauds.
Well, they're not frauds. I mean, you know what I mean? Crap. The ones that you're talking about are the ones that are like PC guys that lie that they're console guys. But we know people that are predominantly like Predator, for example, is he goes back and forth. Yeah. But he plays on Xbox quite a bit. My point being is that but that's a rare situation like what Predator, has where he's Pred plays, I would say probably, I want to say he's 70-30, Xbox, but that's just, that's a rough guess. So don't hold me or him to those numbers. The fact that what Crap's saying is that it just doesn't, that Play Anywhere. I just said to Crap the other day, I said, next year I think I'm going to invest in, like a Smart Book 2 from Microsoft, something really, really powerful that I can start to use a Play Anywhere. But I'm going to tell you right now, even though I'll have something that could do a Play Anywhere, I'll probably use it less than 10% of the year. I'm not going to use it very often. It'll be when I'm on the road or at work or
PC right now, but I don't want, I'm just not a PC gamer. You know what I mean? That's just not something that I ever want to play. Why would you want to switch back and forth?
You know
what I mean? Like that doesn't make any sense to me.
No, I mean, I can say this much, right? People are always like, well, I bring my laptop outside and I'll play outside. Have you seen the dirty looks you're about to get from your family if you actually they pride you from the television inside and then you bring the controller outside? I mean, that's almost like taking a white glove slap to the face of your family, right? Hey, Dad's out here finally with the controller. Why is it what? So
yeah, just get a
play anywhere, kids. Play
if
anywhere.
You want to play shit on the anywhere, just get a Switch. You know, you'll be fine. Or
you know
what I mean.
And I mean, even though I have Switch, but you know what I'm finding hard, crap. I think a lot of us are thinking we're someone we're not. Like people are like, I'm gonna get the Switch and I'm gonna play Doom on it, and I'm thinking to myself, shit, now Doom's out on that, I believe, and I'm like,
yeah,
why don't, right? I mean, why would I go? I'm waiting for Doom to get its X enhancement. I just got Doom VR. I can't really say that I can't wait to play Doom at 720p on a handheld. Like, anybody want to take a walk from the neighborhood? I'm just going to bring my Switch and play Doom while I walk around the neighborhood?
Why not?
I mean, I don't think that exists. I don't see people doing it. Not in New York, anyways.
Well, probably not across the neighborhood, but I mean, if you were going to fly somewhere or something, I don't see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, let's be honest. How many people are just like in the air 90% of the time? Like nobody. And it's funny. I always like to watch. Like I get really kind of intrigued by the people over at Kind of Funny Games because they're just man. You want to talk about an alternate universe? Some people should really just pay their Patreon and ask if they could just live in their shoes for 24 hours, right? Like, that's not normal. Like Greg Miller's always like, well, he's talking to Andrea Renee. He's like, Andrea, so I was on the bus the other day or whatever they're taking, some kind of, all right, Ubered. It's always a new app. Whatever new app is going on in California, that's what people talk about. So I'm on Uber, and I took Uber to my Lyft, right? So I went from Lyft to Uber, Uber to Lyft. And
I've never taken either of those things.
Well, what I do crap is, this is Greg Miller. What I do crap is I open one door from Lyft and the other one from Uber. I don't even touch the street. I actually go from one car right to the other. And in the meantime, I just bring my Switch with me or my PS Vita, and I play all these games. I love them. And it's like, I'm like, who does that? And then these guys from IGN, they're like, well, yesterday I went over to Destin's house and I just took my PS4 and I slapped it in my book bag and went over. And I'm like, what? Like, nobody does that over here. Like, we just don't do that over here. I don't know what to say to you. Like, it just doesn't exist. So, yeah, it's just funny to hear them say that. But that's my whole thing with this crap is I just don't think that, like, the whole, like, portable thing, play anywhere. That's why I don't think it has the legs. Personally,
yeah, I'm not going to fight you on that. I think you're not wrong.
Yeah,
J-Dub,
options are options.
Yeah, they are. Who do we got on deck there, J-W?
So our last caller is Ham Tweezy 2192.
Ham Tweezy.
Mooch, crap. It's Xbox Live's Ham Tweezy 2192. Well, I just called in last week. And I was talking about how good of a job they do, the developers have done on the older hardware versus the newer hardware. And then PUBG comes out and totally fucks it all up. The game's going to be good this way, if you ask me. 30 frames per second. I don't have a problem with 30 frames as long as it's pretty consistent and so forth. So I don't have a problem with that. But you're going to come out and say it's 60. Then you're going to backtrack on us. So now we know that they can do 60. Then you backtrack on us and tell us you're giving us the gimped version because the other one can only do 30. I don't get what's wrong with doing, if you give people options. So PUBG, you can do 1080 or 930, or maybe you can do a 720p 60 with, temporal anti-aliasing or whatever they call it to smooth out the picture. And then, if you buy an S, and that's what you get. You get what you pay for. $189. It's cheap. It's nothing. Us that paid $500, I want the 60. So, that way, anybody who gets a console and is serious about the game, if they're that serious about it, and you want 60, well then go buy an X or play at 720p 60. I don't see any reason why that console couldn't run it at 720p 60. But, and then the other part that I wanted to talk to you guys about is, these Digital Foundry reviews, they're great. Absolutely great. My problem is, though, that at the end of the day, I can't take them serious anymore. The one they just did on Fallout 4. So I go and play Fallout 4, and the game runs fine. There's a couple jitters here or there. That's just the engine they use. That game's always had those issues. But the picture is crisp. The details are great. That game, I'd probably back into that game, I'll tell you that. Anyways, love the show, guys. Keep it up. Peace.
Hey, thanks. You know, it seems like a lot of people have issue with the PUBG thing, and I can see why.
Yeah.
Again, I still think it's going to end up being 60 on the X eventually anyway. You know what I mean? I just it is weird to see them kind of backtrack so fast on that.
Yeah.
I don't like they say it's not an optimized game, so who knows what resolution they would need to have that on the Xbox One S before they can run it at near 60 or whatever. But I do think that they could just put in an option to game only with other people on that particular platform or whatever, so they don't have to worry about getting mixed up with people on the X. I'm not sure if that actually puts any kind of hampering or difference on what they can do in terms of, you know, development and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns. I still think this thing's going to be a huge success for Xbox. You know, everybody's going to buy. I mean, what's your thoughts? How many do you think it's going to sell this year on Xbox?
PUBG on Xbox?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's a dangerously loaded question, buddy. I don't know. I want to sit there and say if you can get up to 22 million on PC, is it crazy to think? And you're saying the end of the year, so it only has what, 2 weeks of sales? You're saying?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, I wanted to say a million, but I don't know if that's realistic. I want to say 500, maybe between 500,000, 750,000.
You probably would have been fine with the million. I would say easily.
Only reason I'm retracting the crap is it's not a full month. That's
I know, fair. But everybody knows about this game. It would be easy for it to get 1 million this year. I think easy.
Look, it's not beyond their reach. It can happen. And 1 million was my first, when you first were asking, you know, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to say 1 million. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. It has, 16 days to chart that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it can't. But the question is, there's a couple of things here, crap. It's a big game. It's doing very well on PC, but is that going to translate? Does that always translate to console sales? I don't know. I think this is one of those things, like I said, with the X. It doesn't have to happen in the first 2 weeks. The X is going to sell better next year than it is this year because word of mouth, videos, YouTubers, games, TVs, TV sales, pairing it with TVs. People at Best Buy and brick and mortars talking about the X paired with this in 4K. It needs time for the casuals it has to creep into their lives. Not everyone's watching what we watch. So when people say, if you walk up to a casual and you say PUBG, they don't know what you're talking about. Because the casual's they're probably not playing on PC. And all they're playing is Call of Duty and Destiny, and they're not playing, or they're playing Madden. So it takes a while.
They're Madden, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Battlefront, whatever. They're not playing.
The million crap could happen, end of January. Could happen the beginning of January. It could happen, like you said, the end of December. But I think you're going to see an influx of 500 to 750K of the true hardcore going out there and grabbing it. Could be 1 million. I mean, when you're saying 750K, you're not stretching to 1 million. But I think you're somewhere in that world, in the 500 to 750K for the first 2 weeks, because that's going to be the just everyone who's been talking about it and tweeting it and
Well, I mean, look, it's 22 million or more right now on the Xbox or on PC.
Right.
So I don't think it's too out of the question to think 1 million.
It's not.
I think that, or even more, and I'm sure they'll announce it too, right?
Oh my God, they're going to be talking. Yeah,
this is a game where you're going to know how much it sells, especially if it sells well, because realistically, it doesn't have anything to do with Microsoft. It has to do with these people seem like they're very cocky to get their numbers out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they're definitely going to be talking that up, and I think that it's something that they're going to announce right away. If they're like, we did over 1 million shows, or a million in just one day or a week, then people are going to know. And I don't think people are going to believe it, man. I'm thinking it could even do more than 1 million this year, even though it only comes out next week. We'll see. It is the holiday still. A lot of people are getting it. It is in the top on Amazon, and it's a digital game. You know what I mean? But it's still one of the top 10 on Amazon right now. So people are really excited, looking forward to this game, and I can't say I blame them. I want to see what it's all about. I definitely want to see what the game's all about and see. I mean, I've messed with it a little bit on PC, and I'm like, but that's not my home. You know what I mean? Like console is home.
Right.
No,
I'm right there with you. Right there.
So, also, last thing I wanted to kind of talk about was, since it's kind of towards the end of the year, what has been your favorite game of the year?
Thus far, and man, now that the games are all out, and I haven't played. I have AC Origins, but like I said, I'm spending the rest of this month going to be playing towards the latter half. So it's not fair. I can't comment on that one. That one might steal it for me. But right now, I would say, Resident Evil 7 and Evil Within 2 are really the games that stood out for me over the year. I just enjoyed them. Brought me a little bit of that. We'll think about it. They're both very much in the same, right? Because the Evil Within folks worked on. I like that sparse equipment inventory. You have to look, you have to search, you have to craft, crafting on the go. Really dig that kind of like, you can't, when you shoot 5 bullets at an enemy and you miss with 4, you make sure you never do that again. It makes you really pay attention. So like, I've gotten so good. I mean, I'm pretty damn good at Evil Within 2. I'm taking the harpoon, which was one of the weaker weapons in the game, and I'm just like, I'm one-shotting them in the head from like distance, and I'm able to like preserve bullets that way, and it's just cool. It's really, really cool to kind of get good and refine it. So I would say probably crap, because it's a what have you done for me lately? Evil Within lately, but I would say if I had to pick, Resident Evil 7 is my game still that I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, I can understand that. So far for me this year, it's been probably Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, and that could steal it. That could steal it when I start that up. So if you ask me on December 31st, I may have to change my. It depends. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a lot of people's games, because I did Next podcast yesterday and people were picking their games. A lot of people picked Assassin's Creed Origins, so I don't think it's out of the realm. And you know what the funny thing is? That game's not even in the running on the game awards. So because of course Persona, because everybody's so familiar with that game, right? So,
right.
It's an interesting situation, man. And I want to say thanks to J Dubs who left out a little bit earlier. He had to go, but he hung in there. Man, you got to remember, we've been trying to get this show going.
Yeah, we've been actually going
10:40 this morning.
10:30, 10:30 this morning, and we're just wrapping up at 2:30. So this has been a long morning for us, but we can't thank the audience enough for sticking with us. You guys are what make it happen.
Yeah.
And next week we should have all of this resolved. We're going to do a Patreon show
Thursday,
and that's where we'll do the giveaway for this. Because we can't spin the wheel, crap. So we're going to do.
Well, Jay's not even in here anymore. He left. He had to go, so.
Well,
we couldn't spin it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing this giveaway on Thursday, and then announcing it on Twitter, and then hopefully next week we're back up and running with OBS. Everything.
Yeah, hopefully everything will be running good, and we'll be back to our normal kick-ass selves. And it'll be a fantastic time. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Mooch, thanks for putting up with it for
Hey man,
some kind of
love
show.
the show.
Must go on.
Love the show. The show must go on. And it was actually a hell of a show.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. We had a good stuff. Hit that like button, guys, and we'll appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. M&C Mornings out. It's Mooch and Crab Morning Show.